I'm gonna try a secondary first 5 for me. So um, just thinking about.
Okay, let's try this again. Maybe I will not play as poorly. I have 1.
Harder.
Yep. Hang on. I'm just gonna ice trap your herder.
Look at the.
You do not. I don't think. Maybe
I still have to come into
comes
play,
into
right?
play. Yeah. You get the hatchling. You can have the hatchling.
Okay.
Play creeper.
Okay.
Side action. I'm gonna draw a card with the sensitivity dice. Go ahead. Sleeping bear, huh? Right.
Yeah.
Make a side action. Go ahead. I do like that this card is a side action. One as disappointed as I've been in every time I played in Power, I like that it's a side action.
What is the side action?
Actually playing the spell is a side action.
Oh yeah.
Not activating it.
Yeah. I was like, what? Okay, I'm following. I'm picking up
But
what you're putting down.
it lets you like play it and activate it in the same turn.
Go ahead.
Um main action is Mirror Spirit Book.
Yep.
Side action is Resonance on the tower.
Yep.
Bending these. Back. These. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Spend one of these. One of the Order Virtue.
Okay. You got it. Yeah, side action.
Nope.
I'm gonna make a Mirror Spirit.
I went first.
Yeah. Side action, I'm gonna Frog Dice your Raptor. Go ahead.
Green sheet. No side.
Koji side action,
Okay.
and then empower and remove both the 2-year bear. Okay.
Side action.
All right, deck bear. Yep. Shoot bear with a frog. Good. I pass.
I'll attack with.
Still pass. Place Scald.
Okay.
Discard String Mage to do 2 to the bear.
Okay.
Then side action Frog Dice. Good.
Order Virtue, the seedling.
What is that? Does that kill it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Side action.
Uh, Reverse Gold.
Um, yeah, I mean, I could have. I have different outs there. Kind of want to leave up.
Odette's ability killing seed seems a million jillion times better than using Sword of Virtue on it.
Probably true.
I'm gonna discard Lick Wounds to do 2 to your Admonisher. Scald. Side action will be Meditate. Go 2. Good.
Yeah, no, you're correct. It's just a misplay. I agree. I think I was more worried about him getting mirror spirits up. Thinking through. Let's shoot a skull. Shoot one.
I'm gonna make a.
Yeah. No, you're correct.
No side action.
His swordsman.
You're attacking Scald with Swordsman, that's what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna block with Koji.
Yep.
I'm gonna play a Pain Shaman, ding your guy, and heal one from.
Yep.
Uh, no side, go ahead.
Yep. Reaper.
Okay. Okay.
Your turn.
I'm gonna activate power and put a token on this guy. No side action. It's gonna achieve it for not flipping over the table in Tabletop Simulator for some amount of time. Don't tempt me. Okay.
Back the skull.
It doesn't kill your guy.
Skull wasn't.
Yeah, you have first strike though, right?
Oh, you're right. I do. Strike.
Yeah. I'm gonna attack him with my Pain Shaman now, so it doesn't make a lot of difference, but oh, I guess you get to defend, yeah. I still think I'm supposed to attack. You're gonna make a Sarah's Source mount, or you can't
I can't.
mount an exhausted unit. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna Koji my man over here and then pass. Yeah. Yep. Every time I see whatever that little 2/1 first striker is, I'm very impressed.
The light swordsman.
Yeah, he seems good. Okay.
Or probably should have just attacked, but I would attack into Koji and I wouldn't get a kill the Pain Shaman anyways. So maybe it was a miss.
I'm gonna activate Empower and do 3 to your Air Source mount.
I've got a reaction shield.
Okay. I guess I could have played around the Particle Shield by Kojiing first, but I didn't know that was in your deck. Side action, I'm gonna play a good.
Okay.
It's a weird game.
This one is a weird game. Sort of. Hmm.
Okay. What does the new head do?
It gives it +1 attack and +1 recovery.
Okay. And do they have fleeting?
No.
Okay.
Side action is going to be.
What is side action? Sorry, I wasn't made.
I just flipped them up my nature.
Okay. Play Scald. I'm gonna discard Invigorate to do 1 to your herder. Side action, meditating. Okay, go ahead.
On a main.
I will make a creeper. Side action, I'll frog your Sarasaur. Good. Okay.
You go first.
You did. I'm gonna play Creeper Book. Then I'm gonna meditate. To go ahead.
Yep. Let's main Odette ability and shoot the.
Okay.
Hillside.
I'm gonna summon a creeper. Put a status token on the River Scald, I guess, with the focus ability. Then I will frog your raptor. . Good. Okay. This creeper attacks Admonisher. Okay. Go ahead.
Pass.
Scald attacks Admonisher. Okay. No side. I think you draw off the particle shield too. I don't know
I
if you
do.
did that.
Okay. I'll attack Koji for 2.
Creeper attacks the Admonisher with no damage on it. Go ahead. Koji side action. Pass. One from roll. I drew 3.
He took 1.
Yeah, I did. I did. Okay, I will make a creeper. Put a status on this egg.
Oh, from the focus.
Yeah, the
Okay.
creeper books. And then I'll play a second empower as a side action. Good.
Reaper.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. going to use the Koji ability to put a seedling, power up a seedling, and then use the seedling main action. Good. I wish I had something other than Mirror Spirit as my additional book, my additional spell slot. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but maybe it's just supposed to be like a Changing Winds or something.
Hmm. Attack. Seedling for... No, let's attack it.
Just the Ceratosaurus. Okay. You guys side action. Okay. I'm gonna make a creeper. Put a status on my Scald. Side action. No side. Okay. I'm gonna meditate. Discarding here. Go to this and this. I'm gonna empower my seedling. Go ahead.
Shoot the creeper.
Okay.
Side action of
Okay. I will. Frog your anchor knot. And then pass.
okay.
No, don't pass. I'm gonna frog your anchor knot, then I'm gonna attack with my 3/2 into your tap Ceratosaurus mount.
Hmm.
Alright, your turn. So base.
Shoot the side action.
I'm sorry. It, to empower my thing.
Yep.
But with the Koji. Alright, make a couple 3/2s. Side. I'll lick my wounds. Go ahead.
What did you lick?
Heal Koji 2.
Okay. Um.
So you have an untapped 3/3 and untapped 2/4 untapped Admonisher. Okay. This thorn will attack your Ceresaurus.
I think the correct play is for
No side action. Okay. I'll inherit onto my other seed. Thorn attacks your Cersaur.
Yeah, you got the. Because you'll get the. Even if
And then
I.
kill you, yeah. Well, you can choose not to counter in this situation, I believe.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to kill the guy.
You have no way fast enough
Well,
until
all
you.
these
They're all going to
3/2s
put it
are
to
gonna they're all
die
gonna
at the
die.
round, right? All right, I'll let the Ceratosaurus die. Let's see. That's the only way I live right now. Okay.
Okay, so then I have no side, so it's your turn.
I'm going to just side shoot the seedling.
And I pass. You have one Admonisher. So a bunch of thorns down. Get a bunch of counters. Is that recovery? It does not. But it does have 6 life now. Yeah, see, I think you're actually like, I guess maybe you're not for sure gonna win, but you're definitely not like out of the game if you don't counter with that Ceresaur.
Yeah. Um.
take a fatigue.
That action. I don't know what the best sort of the correct play here is.
I don't think you have any wins right now.
No, I definitely don't. I'm just thinking through your turn. So your turn is going to look like this. You're going to go, okay, seedling. You're going to take main action seedling to make two of the creepers. I can't use Odette's ability on those creepers. Um, so I'm just trying to decide right now: is it more beneficial for me? I can't just win on board. So I think this is still my best play. Is this gives me board presence? Then my side.
You're supposed to mount, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at is mounting side.
yeah, that puts a ton of pressure on me.
Yeah, because even if you make the creepers, I think I can just overpower your board um, on this attack, right? Like I think it's possible. I'm not saying that's true. I think it's possible.
Well, I definitely can't just have one dude in player. I'm dead. Um, Unless I can remove your guys, but I'm low on resources. What happens if
I'll be curious when I edit this video how long this game is because it feels like it.
yeah, I agree. Um, so if I, what happens if I just kill your Hydra attack?
I'll attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, I have a blocker still.
Right. So you would take 4 for sure based on what I have.
Or else. Okay. But I guess you have an anchor knot. I'm super dead if I make a creeper. Oh, you have an Odette, so I can't because of Odette, I can't make a 2 power or less blocker. I guess I could play this. That might be good. Okay, I'm gonna play Pain Shaman. I'm gonna do it to your light swordsman. I'm gonna heal Koji one, and then Side action, I'm gonna meditate. Discarding this new is make a frog. Then I'll say go.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna meditate all 3 cards out of my hand. I'm gonna make a bunch of frogs.
Um,
I guess before I did that, I probably should have looked to see if you had another sword left. But oh, you did play all 3.
I don't see how you thought. Oh, if you make a creeper, kill the creeper.
Or Odette.
Yeah, but the creeper has 3 attack. Take 3.
Oh,
I
Creeper has
can't.
2 attack, right?
Oh, he's 3-1, isn't he? two
Is it
one.
2/1? Yeah, that was why I didn't.
I thought he was a 3. Uh,
That would make him crazy. Is there a 3-power summon for 2 dice?
maybe. Can't think of one right now. Hmm. Okay, I think I need to meditate 1. And then I think I just got to keep trying to apply pressure.
What the hell is that?
3-3 armor.
You have like 1 of this in your pile?
Yeah. Um, it's one of the cards I consider for my opening 5, depending on like what I'm up against. Right. If I think like since you're playing nature, I could have been concerned about nature's wrath and as a sweeper, so then I would play it just because it prevents 1 damage. It's like a build for that kind of thing. It stops. I went with the bear in this game because I was curious. Like bear and remove an exhaustion.
I'm gonna make a creeper. I will put a status on my paint shop. Side action, I will frog your raptor. Go ahead.
Let's say creeper.
Okay.
Side action.
I will make another creeper. Base status, other seed. No side.
How'd you make first status token? I
What?
mean, how'd you make the status token on the Pain Shaman?
There's the focus on the Indiglo Creeper book.
Oh, okay.
And no side, so you can.
Main action. Close combat. Kill the Pain Shaman.
Why would you kill the Pain Shaman there? I'm just curious.
Because you've got 2 empowers that you can use as pain damage to clear my board of blockers.
Right, but like Luminous, I think you have to kill this seed because I'm going to turn him into 2/3/2s next turn.
Okay. I see what you're saying. If I'm going to do that, then I'd rather use the Hydra because then I can put the damage point on the Hydra. Get another.
It has 3 life.
Because you have a status on it.
Yeah.
I still have to do that. Okay.
Can you like? Oh, it places a token. Okay. I was wondering if you could like use the close combat on the Celestial Knight and not take a damage, but
No, I just place it.
okay. What's under your thing? A raptor herder? Ugh. That kind of sucks. Um, right, I'm gonna use the Koji side action, put a status on my Pain Shaman, and then empower for 3 the Hydra. Your turn. Um, I guess I need to spend a dice on my power last turn, but I don't think it's gonna make a lot of difference. I'm gonna. That armored one is like kind of dumb. um, I'm gonna use the empower. And do 2 damage to the Sarasaur. And then I do not have a side action.
think I have to pass. I don't.
You don't want to play Raptor Herder?
I can't get the raptor out of battlefield side.
Oh, that's interesting.
If I could get the raptor out, yeah, I would. But I can't. I don't have any way to effectively kill the anchor knot. I can't force you to counter the anchor knot.
I'm gonna attack. Um, that's strange. I'm gonna attack your damaged admonisher with my pain shaman. So I go.
Try to play the.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the seed power. Pass. Well, not pass. Say go. We need a cooler. We need to change the pass action to something cooler, so I can say pass like a normal person every time I want to pass a turn. We just change it to like a safe word or something,
Pineapple.
like periwinkle.
Pineapple. I think no matter what I do, I lose here, right? So back for 3, 4, 5,
I think
6.
you're actually going to win if you just pass out.
You go first next round. How do I win? Oh, I guess
Well,
the thorns just die.
I'm also going to die on my draw step. As you see, I have
Well,
no cards
Well,
at the
me
end of
too, because
go.
I'm only going to draw one card. So I'm going to take fatigue damage. I don't know how the order of fatigue damage works. Is it
You only
does
have
the
one
first?
left.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I think I actually am losing here because of, and then,
Well, I only looked into once.
I thought you.
I only did it once. I discarded the other 2 to
So I think
skulls.
the only way I win this game is for me to force an attack.
Well, how do we know who? Like, if
Well,
we
I don't
both
remember
died of
when does the
fatigue,
first because the first player has to draw the cards first, I think. But I think you
then
have
I'm
more
going to
life.
lose.
Well, but I don't think the first player token passes before card. I think you draw
Oh,
cards at the end of the round.
does anybody in chat know how this is going to end up?
I think because you have more life, you're going to lose just off, or you're going to win off of no matter what.
Like, who goes more negative?
No, no, I just think it's the way it works. Like as a general rule, that seems from what I remember. That's sucks. Okay, what do we got? If somebody's in chat, sorry, I just hid my chat to look. So see you talk.
I am busily Googling as well.
It's fatigue. So end of round is remove wounds from units with recovery values, remove exhaustion tokens from each card, exhausting number of dice, resolve end of round effects. It then says roll your exhausted dice, discard cards, draw cards, fatigue damage, wound your Phoenix board for cards not drawn. So when does the first player token pass? Um, okay, so that's at the end of the round. So it's after the recovery phase. So now fatigue damage is only mentioned once. It just says wound your Phoenix Born for cards not drawn. So I mean, it's a draw. That seems to
Yeah.
indicate that would happen simultaneously.
The only way that I can win is if you misplay it badly. Like like if
If
my
my
if this creeper dies,
dies,
like actually I don't even think that does it. You would have to play like atrociously bad by like killing my creeper and then letting me attack with the thorns and trading with the thorns so I could make 2 more thorns. Otherwise, you just have more blockers than me. So even though you can't kill me, I can't kill you, and we're gonna go to the draw step, and then I don't know. I assume that I lose as first player, or I don't think there's.
Well, let me ask really quick. So I just asked in rule how the end of damage actually.
It's not end around. It happens like during the draw step.
Well, right, but I mean, I know you're going to get the first player token, but I don't know how the. I don't know if it's like you draw a card fatigue, I draw a card fatigue, you draw a card fatigue, I draw a card fatigue, and if it's that, then
I'm going to win by 1
correct.
because I'll go to 5 off the admonisher at the end, assuming that we like don't. Well, it's gonna depend a lot on how the combat ends up because I'm gonna like attack with creeper into one of your men, uh, like your raptor herder, and then I guess you let it trade. Then you have to take an action, which can be pass or attack. Then I will attack with creeper into.
Trying to find it in the rule book. It's got to be. So it's in the prepare phase, right? That's what we decided. Starting
Oh
with
yeah,
the first player, players alternate placing one wound token on their Phoenix board until all players have placed wounds equal to the number of cards they should have drawn but could not.
okay. So let's run this attack sequence real quick. So I
It's my
spend
turn,
3.
so I'm going to pass because I can't. I mean, the question is, do I be
Oh,
more
you
preemptive?
can't pass. If you pass, then I win because I'll pass. Then we'll do the thing we
Well,
just talked
so
about.
then I guess I just attack with an anchor not into Ochi
Isn't this a 0 power
because
guy?
I can still attack for 0.
Yeah, but that doesn't help you.
I what do you want me to? I mean, there's no way.
You have to attack. You have to attack one of my 3/2s with your celestial knight.
But doesn't that actually hurt me?
No, because the only thing that matters for the inheritance is if I already have the seed out. So while creeper is alive and seed is not on the table, you want to kill this
But you can
because I
just.
don't have any
But then you can just defend it with Koji.
where I go to 3 and then you will win when we
Sure.
do the damage
Okay.
race. That
Yep.
like I have to let this happen.
I see what you're saying.
Like I'll counter or whatever and put 2 damage on your guy. Then I attack I attack Raptor Herder with, well, I guess, now what do I do? You have Anchornaut, Admonisher. Admonisher can't block either guy without dying. But you'll still have 3. Yeah, so I still have to attack one at a time or else I get got by the Raptor Hatchling. So I'm going to attack Raptor Herder with Indigo Creeper. And then you let your Raptor Herder
Well,
die and don't counter.
Yeah, I can't counter, right? Because if I counter,
then I get a blocker.
right?
I can't actually activate the ceiling this turn because I won't be able to put enough counters on it.
Okay.
Um, and I Yeah, you definitely don't want to counter.
Okay.
I guess you could block with Odette if you think that you're gonna get through.
Well, if I block with Odette, my next
You go to
attack is I
one,
can attack Raptor Herder and Raptor Hatchling for 3 at you. Force the
but I have a
Thorn to you
blocker.
have a yeah. You force the Thorn to defend. I hit you for 1.
No, I wouldn't block with Thorn. I just take it and then kill you with the swing back.
Well, I still have an Anchor Knot and an Admonisher up.
Well, you have to attack with two other guys
Right. So
besides
so I
Raptor,
would attack with Raptor Herder, Hatchling, and Anchor Knot. I do if
and then I would take two.
you just take 1 from the Herder because you block the 2 from the
Well, I wouldn't block. I'd just take three
okay.
and then swing
So if you
back.
attack if you're at 3 though and I'm at 3 and I block with a Admonisher, I don't need the point of damage from the Admonisher to win because you're going to take the
Right,
first
so I
point of
do have to
damage.
block.
I do
Right.
I do have to block this creeper attack with what I have to do.
Yeah, I think it turns out I think the same either way.
Well,
Um,
I actually lose then because I go to 1 and then I just draw
right.
1
That's
card
that's
and
what I'm
die.
saying. I think it turns out the same either way. Because if you don't block and you don't counter, then your Raptor Herder's down.
Hmm.
You can attack with your three guys, but I will take it and then kill you with my three. Or you can not attack with your three guys. I'll attack something. You can't block it with Odette, so I'll just kill your Admonisher or whatever. And
Yeah,
then next
I think
turn
it's
I'll draw out.
I'm just dead. So
Right. You're dead on board in either case of countering or not countering or blocking with Odette. Weird game. Man, I wish I didn't have this summon Mirror Spirit in my deck. I wonder if there's an actual spell that does something. I felt
you,
like I was really short on
you
dice
could
a
just
lot of
run
the time.
Missphere.
I don't want to summon. I want something that's cheap or free because I was out of dice like every turn.
Why not just changing wins?
Why not what?
Changing wins. Why not just changing
It,
wins?
that's something. I don't know. I still think it's a little too slow. Maybe after they introduce the time magic, these 3/2s will be better. Because I know that there's supposed to be a lot of
Well, you get a lot of value out of it for 2 dice, right? Like,
assuming you have the time.
sure.
Because it's not making a 2/1 for 2 is something a lot of books can do, given some time and a little extra effort. Because you do have to create the status tokens in the second form.
Right.
So it's like 2 dice plus whatever else you're doing.
Right.
Um, I mean, you end up with a powerful summon, right? Like 2/3/2s is good,
Yeah.
but you got to jump through a lot of hoops to get there because you really get clogged up. Like there was that time when I had like 3 of these seeds on the board, but just like nothing to do because uh I
Well,
couldn't
I really
pull them
grossly
up.
misplayed trying to kill the creeper, not the little creeper, the thorn. I should have just left him on board and let you attack with him because I was sitting pretty favorably for most of those attacks, and I could have just like let them survive, and then they would have fallen off, and that would have slowed down the seedling. Um,
You can't like always just ignore 2/3 power guys, right? Like
sure, no, I agree. I also know I took extra damage in game 2 because I thought the Indigo Creeper itself was a 3/1, not a 2/1. So
and you took a bunch of extra damage in game 2 because you were firing off Odette abilities instead of like use or
yeah,
you swapped how you should have done the sword and the Odette ability.
right,
I would have gained you 2 or 3 life that game too.
yep. It came back to bite me at the end there, but well, that game itself was 90 minutes, easy, easy
Very long.
90 minutes. That's that's just not good.
I don't think either of these decks are very good, and they would both be crushed by uh, a real deck, and
Possibly.
it would not go to 90 minutes.
I think I still would have been better off. Like obviously the bear was just
Started source mount in game two, just like you did in game one.
yep, I just think that's the best start for going up against this matchup. Um the deck probably I like Sarah Source Mount a lot. The Hydra is probably just too cute. It's hard to get any real
You're just
um
stretched too thin on what you're trying to do. Like if you want to play Hydras, you have to like
well
box
you run into a
nine.
problem with nature and divine where you don't really have a lot of really good spellboard cards to choose from in general. And so I was kind of just looking for ways. And what I meant to put into this deck and I didn't was resummon, so that I could pull the card out from underneath of the mount and keep the mount in play. And I didn't put it
That work
in.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So then you just resummon the conjuration without an ally underneath it. So then you can play your ally again. So um, that was
That card cheap. Like that card
it's not
doesn't
super
feel very good
expensive.
if it's like one dice, maybe that's okay. But
Uh,
like
Top of my head, I certainly don't have all my costs.
because like
Uh,
essentially
Resummon is a ready spell. It costs nothing to put on the board, but you have to play ceremonial with it, which is fine. And then you go ceremonial, illusion, destroy conjuration. You control them and place that conjuration.
it costs 2 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, barf! No.
Yep.
Like literally, all you're doing is you're saying like pay 2 dice, draw an anchor knot. That sounds bad.
Well, it's pay 2 dice, most likely draw Raptor Herder.
Yeah, would you do that? I wouldn't.
I don't know.
There's lots of cards in the game that draw a card for a lot less than two
The
specific
real
blast dice.
challenge with the divine mounts in particular, like Ceresaurus and Archosaurus, is that they force you into divine in nature, and so then you're sort of stuck in what your support color is going to be and what it can do. And so I like the idea of with this deck, like the gates thrown open, um, where I can get a second copy of Ceresaurus, but you just had enough board control. And so it's possible that maybe the best dice color to go with this is just Sympathy, so that you can play Golden Veils and just protect your units. I mean, Particle Shield was kind of doing that, like
It
kind of,
did get me the one time. It got me real good the one time.
yeah,
It's a card that I like, though I think it got worse than it was previous.
sure, agree. So I don't know. It's something that you kind of run into this weird scenario where if you throw Sympathy in, there's really not any other like threatening allies besides your mounts, and there's a lot of mount hate just in general in the game. So
It's just the same. It's like the same thing that kills every unit, right?
yeah,
Like
except that you got to remember mounts are essentially the most expensive unit, right? Because you've got to play a unit down first before you can mount. So
well,
you really like
Tyrannosaurus, like
it costs three. I mean, to make it costs three to make a 3/3.
right, but you get
Yeah,
a 3/3 haste. Like
sure.
uh, I guess
It's not
it's
really a
only a
3/3
3/3.
haste
It's
because
only
you
haste
can't.
if you already have the ally in play, I
That's
guess.
right.
But
It's really hard to stick an ally, a small ally that's cheap, when you're playing mounts and your opponent knows you're playing mount. Because there's just so many ways to deal 1 point of damage to something in this game, and almost all of those units have a life value. So you're kind of forced. Your hand is sort of forced to play herder, mount it, right? Like, or play anchornaut, mount it. Like that's just the way it kind of is. So um
yeah, you got to find a 0 2 for 1. That's the ticket.
yeah, do you know of one that's not a conjuration? Because all I know of 0 2 for ones are conjuration.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you see a two toughness guy for one. It doesn't matter if it's bad.
No, no, no. I agree, but I don't know of any allies that are that way. Like, not.
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but
Yeah, I don't. I can't think of an ally that's a 0/2 for one die because you've
but
got.
of the ones of the
Well,
mounts,
you got
I
Blood
like
Archer.
Ceratosaurus.
Blood Archer would do.
What?
No, 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 that's not true. Blood
Isn't that
Shaman.
card like a million dice?
Blood Shaman would. The 0/2 for one.
There you go. Play a third color, I guess.
Well, I mean, then you might as well. I mean, you're in ceremonial at that point. There's lots of things you get out of ceremonial there that are really solid. Because you can also just include fire archers for direct ping damage, which is probably better than Anchornaut in many scenarios. Anchornaut's a great card, but it unless your opponent's got a really wide board strategy, it's really hard to do great things.
it,
And Anchornaut in
yeah,
particular is
I,
really
I
bad
think
against
that
Creeper. Just putting that out. I don't think it's really that great to give you the seed.
it depends on if you're prepared to deal with it or not, right? Like,
Well, I mean, sure, Odette's probably the best version of that for sure. Um, so
it's still good to ping my 2/1. Like, you don't want me to trade my 2/1 off for something valuable. That's way worse than you anchor
sure,
knotting it.
agreed. Um,
You just have to be able to deal with the seed before you get two things on it. And in
you
most
know,
cases, that's
it's
like
probably something
not
where
very hard.
considering like Shield Mage just to prevent your opponent from being able to attack your units directly. Um, that's a pretty decent way to keep most of the combat damage off. Uh, I like Stormwind Sniper because of the concealed component of it a lot. I think it's, but yeah, I mean, there's not very many instances of O2s for one dice. In fact, I think that's the only one. It really, literally does nothing. Gives you it gives you a unit that you could try to stick on the board. I guess if your opponent kills it,
No, it only works when you kill it.
yeah, that's true. So then it doesn't even matter. So it's literally just an O2
Yeah,
for
I
one.
I don't like the big mount that takes your whole turn because like it has all the problems you're talking about. But I think Ceratosaurus is pretty good because in its worst mode, you get to like play an Anchornaut and turn it into a 3/3.
Mhm.
In its best mode, if you have a guy that survives, you get a 3/3 haste. And it's like slightly better than 3/3 because it's got some text on it.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just like you think 4 life is pretty reasonable, but you were able to just effectively empower ping my 4 life Hydra away.
You're talking about the Hydra? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that card, like I think it got a lot worse
Oh,
in its current
it's
mode.
definitely worse because in the old
Um,
version you just got the head, right? Like you just
whenever
got
it
the
took damage, you got the
yeah.
head,
The fact that you
but
have
the
to
the
take
head
an
was
action.
different
Yeah, because
because
the
the
head
head
was a
was
1/1, right?
it was plus 1 plus O plus 1, I think.
So then it's the
Maybe
same
it was plus
head.
1 plus 1 plus 1.
I don't remember. We can go back. Legacy
In any case,
cards.
you got it right away, and then it fell off. Like it didn't stay.
So the Hydra head was the Hydra itself was a 3/3 base. That
Right.
much better. Um, and then Hydra. What were the heads called? Is
I don't know. I don't think the name changed. You can look in your pile here. Shining Hydra head.
was a +1/+1/+1.
And
That
it's fleeting. Is that
yeah,
right?
and then it was fleet.
Yeah. It's just like a lot of work to do the thing it's doing, and because it doesn't get bigger than 4 toughness, like
Sure. You have to invest so much into the Hydra. Makes it too. So I just was curious about it. I still think
I
probably
think it's a
the
cool card. Like it's something you could definitely play. Like I
I
guess
like it with Adrenaline Rush and Close Combat. I think both of those are good.
it
Um,
just it sucks that it's like that that ceremonial conjuration is like a 1/6.
Mhm.
You
The
just have
Dread
to like
Wraith?
do too much work to make it good,
Sure.
and you could play. The reason that it seemed bad in the games we played is because I just ignored it. Like it's a 1/4, so I let it attack me for 1 or 2 or whatever,
Sure.
and then I finally amassed enough damage to kill it.
So, I mean, the problem with Dread Wraith is like you're probably never going to see Dread Wraith get above 2 or 3, right? I mean, that's just once a unit's within 4 life like we saw or 3 life like we saw, and Dread Wraith like plays right into Fester. Like just plays right into it. But I think that, I mean, I think what you were doing is interesting. I think you could have probably even taken this a step further with the seedlings in particular, and just all the status tokens, and played explosive growth. It's a side action, ceremonial nature or sympathy nature, and just like blown me out of the water. Like that card's just pure tempo for you. Because like that last luminous seedling, right, was a 6 health or whatever, so it had 5 tokens
Would have
on
just
it.
been a 4/6.
No, 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 no. You get 2 status tokens with it, so it had turned into a 6/8.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
It
saying, like,
it
like,
feels so bad to play cards like that into Fester. Like,
well, Fester doesn't
especially
have anything to do with it, right? Unless it's got a wound on it.
well, I'm sorry. It feels bad to play cards like that into removal spells,
Sure, but this
and
is just a
especially play cards like that onto a guy that I'm going to sacrifice to make 3/2s anyway.
this is just a side action, dude. Like, so you can still side action attack, and if the thing dies, like whatever, but like it's probably not going to die. And then next turn you get main action.
It You can't sack them if they're
Well,
exhausted.
sure, but I mean, you were just, I mean, you like had pain shamans with 2 or 3 on them at times. Like you had, I mean, you had so many status tokens floating around. Like to
I
me, like that card just turns into a like a +5/+0 for 2 dice.
I would not play creepers if I was playing that card. Like I would just play empower and some other thing or like
Well,
smack or
I've
whatever.
seen, yeah, some Silver Snake's obviously the best version because it doubles it. Like because this is
Yeah, or
saying,
mirror spirit.
yeah, Mirror Spirit, Silver Snake, both of those cards go, okay,
But
well, got 4 tokens, cool. This is going to give you +4/+4 or +4/+0 twice, because of the built-in ability on the snake, and then this. So now the snake's an 8. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing the snake really likes. But I mean, there's lots of advantageous attacks.
I just I just don't think going tall, and I think we've proven this many times that going tall is not good.
Well, I think
And
you have to have some sort of plan for how that tall unit's going to get through, right? Because there's just too many easy ways to
right, so now
just
we're
stand in
talking
front of it.
about having a unit, having another card to make the unit tall, and then having another plan to get it through also. That's like way more work than I want to do
Sure.
when I could just like, you know, spend a knife into my fallen book every turn or like play
Well,
a
I think if
Skirless
I mean I
Vault.
think if that's really true, then everybody be playing just Fallen, right? I mean that's not
Isn't that
true.
what you literally told me last week about the AIL that
There's a
like
lot of Fallen decks, but
half
not.
the decks were Brennan
I mean,
fallen decks?
but
Or not
Brennan's
Brennan.
not. Yeah, Brennan's not using Fallen at all. Brennan's just making a bunch of allies, surrendering them to deal 2 damage to opponent's Phoenixborn, just burning. Yeah, I mean there are Brennan decks and there are Fallen decks for sure. But I also think that there's lots of other stuff happening that I think that mounting is really really good. You just have to figure out
I don't think that, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody will correct me. But Ceresaurus, or wait, which one's the big one?
Archosaur.
Archosaurus. I think that Archosaurus is not very good, but the that Ceresaurus book
Well, Archosaurus has
seems
there's
pretty
there are
powerful.
so many units that can't defend Archosaurus because it's got the two you have if you have 2 life or less. So there are only big units can block Archosaurus.
Yeah, I know what it does. I
Right.
mean, obviously, I ran into issue with it in game one when you played it real fast. But I had the option to kill your guy. I just chose not to because I was bad. Like
Sure.
It just I would be afraid of having that card stuck in my hand forever because of
Uh,
all the things you talked about earlier, where like if
I
you never stick an ally through the turn rotation, you can never play it.
well, and I think I mean obviously like you're in game two, you first fived an ice trap. I'm not. You didn't do that in game one, so I'm
I
assuming
actually
that.
did. I just didn't play it because I was very bad.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think turn
I
one
had the
ice
ice
trap
trap
is
in both
really.
first fives. I
I
should
think
have played it earlier than I did.
I do think turn one ice trap is really. Um, I really do because I think the
I like having it as a one of in my
it
opener when I'm playing nature. That's like one of the things that makes me want to play nature, the very few.
yeah. I think there's lots of good